have to be rich enough to lead. You don't have to be big enough to lead. You don't have to be taller enough to lead. Go out there and start leading. Go out there and start impacting the world.
If you want to live an extraordinary life, you can't live like an ordinary person. Tony Robbins says, the quality of your life comes to the level of your leadership. A few years ago, I used to be unmotivated to do something significant with my life. But now, I'm so motivated and don't really care about what people think about me. One of the great leaders of all the time, Barack Obama, says, to be a great leader, you need to treat people with kindness, love, peace, and make a group of team to work together. But before we begin in this leadership topic, I have the privilege to introduce to you a special individual to me who have made a significant impact in his community through leadership. He has made a such great impact in his community, such as teaching English to Congolese people in a French-speaking country. And he has created more than 10 English clubs. Listen people, those English clubs are not just providing English lessons, they also serve as a platform to empower young students with leadership skills. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce to you Miss Vince Muyeye. And all of this, he is only 17 years old. How are you, Mr. Vince Muyeye?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm good. So it's my pleasure to meet you finally.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right. So, what is leadership for you?
Okay, so that is a good question.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a simple and a short definition of leadership. So leadership is all about serving, changing, and influencing others. That's all about leadership. A lot of leaders are pretending to be leaders, but they are not leaders. So one of the best key of a leader is communication skills. I'm glad you asked this question, all right?
Okay.
But you know, how are you going to improve your communication skills? Okay, so you're going to talk to people, right?
Yeah, okay. Right.
And how are you going to improve it, your communication skills? First, I'm going to give you some short steps, actually maybe 3 or 2, all right, that can help you. The very first thing, as a leader, if you want to improve your communication skills, you have to be clear of what you want, when you want it, and why you want it. See what happens. I'm not cutting short. See what happens. You have your team, right? Then if you're not clear of what you want, nobody gonna help you to improve what you want. Nobody gonna help you, okay, to have the exact results, okay, at a certain time if you don't tell them when you want it. So if you are clear of what you want and when you want it, and explain to the team why you want the thing, and see if you are clear, you know what will happen? The people can help you, your team can help you to achieve what you want. And secondly, you have to ask good questions. Leaders ask good questions. Oh, let me maybe say it in this way. All right, great leaders ask good questions.
What do you mean by good questions?
Awesome. Do not ask closed questions, questions which can require only 2 answers like yes or no. No, those are bad questions.
Oh, right.
As a leader, you have to ask good questions, open questions that can allow your team to talk. And you know what is happening? If you ask good questions, your team will give you informations. And if you gather informations, you get the informations, all right, that can not only help you to improve your communication skills, it can also help them. Then it's going to flow both sides.
All right. I get it.
That's very good.
That's
and going quickly to your question, all right, you can understand it's a good topic, all right. I like talking about it. And lastly, you have to pay attention and listen carefully.
Oh, attention and listen.
And listen carefully. That's all about it.
Okay, so how can I develop emotional intelligence so that I can communicate with a team or with a lot of individuals in case?
All right. Okay. So emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good question. I'm happy you're asking important questions.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So, before going further, okay, I would like first to give you a quick definition of emotional intelligence.
All right.
What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence, all right, is the ability to understand, to use, and to manage your own emotions,
Okay.
as well as the emotions of others.
How do I take
Now,
in consideration the emotions?
awesome.
Yeah.
Before going further with all those steps, all right?
Yeah.
Remember I just said here, it's the ability to understand first, to use and to manage the emotions, your own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. Then, how are you going, okay, to use it so that you can manage the emotions of others? That's your question, all right?
All right.
Here is the strategy. You first know yourself, what you call self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Know yourself.
Yeah.
And if you know yourself, you are going to know your different type of reactions. Your own first, your reactions. If you know yourself, remember, self-awareness is very important. You have to know yourself. If you know yourself, all right, then you are going to manage your emotions. How to manage your emotions? After managing your emotions, how to use now your emotions. That's the only way, that's the only key that can help you, okay, to understand the emotions of others. You start first with yourself. See, here's a quick example. If you and I working in a certain team, all right, then I'm the leader of that team, all right. Then whenever there is a misunderstanding, all right, I'm always aggressive and whatever. I cannot even control myself. I cannot use my emotions. Now, how am I going to control your emotions? Start with yourself.
All right.
Good, yes.
Thank you. You basically answered that correctly.
Okay.
So, what step can I take to boost? I would say I'll use the word to boost my learning growth with a team together. What are the steps?
What did you say? You learning?
Yeah.
Learning growth.
Yeah.
All right. That's very simple.
Yeah.
All right. What you have to do is you have to create an environment of learning.
You give us
you have a team. Your team will never stay the same until you create an environment of learning. You have to create some little stuff like seminars,
okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Like mentorship. You know, when in conferences, different conferences, people are exchanging, you know, word different experiences and whatever. You're going to see that climate, okay, will be a climate of learning. Actually, that's the only way that you can create it, by organizing all those stuff.
Based on your past achievement,
okay,
what you have done with your English level,
yes,
did you create a learning environment with your team?
Yes, of course. You know, as you first introduced me, that was about English, right? And when we started meeting each other, then I finally realized that, okay, everybody mastered English. Everybody could speak English. Now, what's the next step?
Oh, and what?
So like I created,
like
all right.
You have achieved the end point.
See,
that was everyone to speak and understand.
Yeah, but the team has to have that environment of learning. So, which means what was putting us together was only English. Then, in the end, all right, if everybody can speak English, how are you going to leave your team? And see what we did, all right. It was not always about English. We created a space. Okay, we created a space where everyone can feel free to come and give his experience, where everyone can feel free, okay, to come and teach us what he knows. And that allowed people to master a lot of subjects, like leadership, for example, like management, engineering stuff and those stuff. You know how? Why? Because we allowed that space. Everybody could feel free. And that's how your team can grow.
All right.
Yeah.
How can I delegate tasks to my teams as a leader?
All right. Okay. So I think before going further, before responding to that question, I'd like first to tell you that it will take a long time.
Okay.
Because the mistake that a lot of leaders are making, all right, is to think that they can delegate a task based on the talent of someone.
Okay.
You cannot be based on the talent of someone to delegate the task. See, talent is part of it. All right? It's require you to find out the loyalty of the person, the integrity of the person, all right, honesty and all of those stuff. And you have to trust the person. That's how we find a good person, a right person. Once you find that person, pick that person, all right?
Okay.
And the person has to love what you are doing. You cannot just tell this person, come on, man, all right, as you are loyal to this one, and no, you are not only going to hand on darts.
Okay.
You have to see if the person likes what you are doing. And if the person likes what you are doing, is always motivated of that the person that you can delegate your task. And if you delegate the person the task, don't over control the person. You only have to wait and control and check the results. Why? Because you cannot delegate somebody else and then you just say, hey, come on, you start controlling him. So the fact of delegating the task to the person, you have to let him do the task calmly.
Right.
And you trust the person. That's where trust comes in. Yeah.
So how can I develop a strong bond
Okay.
or relationship with my team and solve conflict within that team?
All right. Okay. So I think conflict is also necessary in the team.
How can conflict be necessary?
You don't have to make a mistake of trying to resolve all the conflicts before going again ahead, all right, and giving the strategies of handling the conflict. I'd like first to give you two types of conflicts that are happening every time in the team.
Okay.
The first one is, all right, the first one is the conflicts focused on the task. That's the first one. So that conflict is between ideas, and it's normal. You cannot solve that conflict. What you have to do, you have to teach your people some little words, some polite words of disagreeing, okay, to each other. Teach them that if you want to disagree, if you are not agreeing, or if you are not d'accord with what I'm doing, if you don't accept what I'm doing, see these words that you can use in order to not offend your person. But that conflict is important because you come up with different ideas, and it's necessary. Why? Because everybody is coming up with different experiences and different intelligence. And the second one is now personal conflict. That's the conflict that you can solve. That is the best what am I trying to say? That is the best conflict that we can look at, okay, and try to solve it. Because if we don't look at it, we are not going to go ahead with the team. How are you going to find out, okay, the ways of
Solving that
conflict? Because it's a personal, the conflict of egos, different personalities, all right? But how are you going to do it? The first one, you have to create a space where people can talk about different behaviors that they are not happy with.
Okay.
And if you focus on the behavior, you know what is going to happen? You're not going to focus on pointing fingers on people. Hey, see what you're doing. No, you are focused on the behavior. You are not focusing on the person. Then once you find out that behavior that is making others unhappy, then you're going to look at the actions after the behavior. Then looking at the actions, you have to find out what are the emotions behind that actions, or behind those actions, or behind that action. And once you are focused on the behavior, that's the step of resolving the problem.
So how can I now build a strong bond, a relationship with my team?
Yeah, it's okay. You have to create a space.
Only this space.
A space where everyone can feel free to communicate. Everyone can feel free The big mistake is, you are the leader of your team, all right?
Okay.
But you want always to take decisions. No.
Oh, so
Help. If you help people, okay, to get what they want, they can help you to get what you want. If you create that space where everyone is happy about it, that's the good strategy of creating a relation between partners of a team.
all right. So how can I lead my team? By demonstration of act.
Start with yourself.
Okay.
You have to start with yourself. I'm going to be a bit of it quickly, all right?
Yeah.
Start with yourself, all right? It's like, come on, hey man, how am I? You have to be an example. You have to start with yourself. And your leadership is visual. People don't follow your fingers, people follow you. People are watching you. All right? Now, if you have to be an example, put this combination: consistency compound plus adding value. You have to be consistent on what you're doing. So every day, see what John Maxwell said. John Maxwell is a great leader, and I'm always I have to read at least one chapter per day of his books. He's writing a lot of books on leadership. He's a great man, all right? See what he said, okay? People are surprised by the number of books that I'm writing. But do you know my secret? Do you know the secret of John Maxwell is consistency compounds. Is making sure every day is reading, every day writing, every day learning, and writing all the stuff on leadership. And if your team can see how you are doing it consistently, they can start being behind you, and you're going to create. And you can lead by example, because they're not only listening to what you're talking about, but they're also watching you, how you are doing them. And another thing, you have to add value. You have to love the people. You add value to people. You cannot add value to people if you have values. So every day, be sure that you are adding value on yourself.
Okay, how can I, sorry for just asking a question.
No problem.
How can I motivate my team during challenging time?
Of course.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to respond in the same way, but it's not the same way, okay? This is like that person who has got a company and saying, how am I going to start? How am I going to motivate my team? Should I give them the chocolates? Should I buy for them the cars and different games so that they can be motivated? No, see, you have to start with yourself. What happens if the people who need motivations, it's us? So the people who need motivation, I'm also included. So I have to be motivated. If I need someone to be motivated during challenging time, whenever there is a challenge, how am I acting? So if I am motivated myself, then others can stay motivated. If I'm demotivated, then no one can stay motivated. This is like what I was talking to a certain friend of mine and saying that, you see gangsters.
Okay.
Gangsters, when they're coming, all right, their vision is to steal. But before stealing, they have to take. The person who is who is considered as the protector of that house, and they have to take the father. So that's the father. Yeah. Then now see what happens if the father is maybe sleeping, or I don't know, anytime when the gangsters can get in, then the father runs away. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
So you as a child, are you going to resist to those gangsters? You're going to run away. Yeah, it's simple. That's how leadership can work. Whenever there is a challenge, you as a leader, you have to stand forward and overcome that challenge, and others can come. That's how it works.
Thank you, Mr. Vance.
Are you welcome? Thank you so much. All right.
All right. Okay, Mr. Vance.
Yeah.
If you have a final word to tell whoever is watching this video on how to be a leader, specifically young African, what should be your final word?
All right. Before going further,
Yeah.
I would like first to ask everyone watching this video to subscribe and like.
Yeah.
So to young African leaders all out there, I would like to remind you what P.L.O. Lumumba from Kenya once said. Do not intellectualize leadership. Do not moralize leadership. Because leadership moralizes not leadership. Leadership intellectualizes not leadership. Leadership is all defined by the word serving. And see, go out there and start leading. Go out there and start impacting the world. You don't have to be rich enough to lead. You don't have to be big enough to lead. You don't have to be taller enough to lead. See, it all starts with your attitudes. The lion is not the biggest animal in the jungle. The lion is not the tallest animal in the jungle. And you know what? The lion is not the smartest animal in the jungle. But yet he still be a king. The lion is the king of the jungle. Why? The attitudes. When the lion sees an elephant, get what is coming in his mind is lunch. But when the elephant sees a lion, get what is in its mind is eater. See, leadership is not always about being big enough, being intelligent enough, being and whatever, and having millions in your bank. No, leadership is all defined by serving. So go out there and serve our mother, Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.
Thank
so
you.
we really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
All right, welcome.
Please like this video and subscribe. And if you like more of this, if you like the second part of Mr. Vince Muir coming here, just write in the comment section below second or part 2. See you soon.
Right.